Hi, this is Sydney, and I am here to talk us through it for Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. It is Mars's day, and Mars remains out of bounds in Cancer. However, he is within 2 degrees of perfecting this trine finally with Saturn, allowing for a good flowing working aspect, especially around ideas and concepts of spirituality, our intuition, and also with Mars and Saturn being in a trine, this is just literally a good working aspect to get what we are driven to do done. Now, I think today in general will feel a bit frustrating, and we will experience it internally as a frustrating sort of day because the moon in Aquarius, though it is in a sign of its being able to kind of detach and, be a little bit more heady, a little bit more cerebral about things, a little bit more perhaps innovative, or, slip into its kind of authentic, eccentric kind of self, is going to hit a whole bunch of semi squares today. So these are aspects of a bit of frustration. It is half of a square being a conflict that pushes us forward. And now we kind of are aware of the conflict, but we can't quite go forward yet. So, whatever we were trying to do yesterday, you might find that the progress is stymied a bit today. So, just hold your horses. It's only a day we got to get through, you know? So, in the morning, we have the moon in Aquarius, semi square Neptune in Pisces. And this could just be feeling a bit confused, a bit lost, a bit not connected to really anything grounding whatsoever. With the moon being in Aquarius and Neptune being in Pisces, there is no earth here. This is just air and water kind of pushing us around, not necessarily the best. And so just kind of hang tight. We have a really beautiful trine between the moon and Jupiter and Gemini. And so I think this is where a lot of ideas start flowing. A lot of information starts being communicated to us, or we start to expand our minds in all sorts of different ways that allow us to go and see like the broader big vision and also see the little pieces within, right? The Aquarius being kind of the landscape of like technology, like it's like the World Wide Web, right? And then we have Gemini being all of the little pieces of data, that kind of thing. And both air signs, so this has to do with communication, this has to do with processing, this has to do with thinking. So we have a lot going on here. And yeah, I like that aspect. The void, of course, will begin. So don't, after 10:39, you're not going to want to start anything new for a few hours. I believe until the next day. So get your stuff done in the morning, even if things feel a little bit like too much and a little bit stymied. Now, going into 2 p.m., we do start to have all of these semi-squares start to hit again. So moon semi-square Venus, something around relationships, something about how we're maybe like connecting to the feminine principle around women, relationships, money, glamour, all of those things. Something comes up and we kind of are feeling unsettled. Semi-square is an unsettled aspect. We like understand something and we're not feeling so great about it. So just keep that in mind. We do the biggest aspect of our day is that 3:02 p.m. we have the Mercury in Aries sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So this is intensity. Whatever Pluto touches becomes intensity, and Mercury in Aries has just met up with the sun. It has burned away some of the things it doesn't need. Hopefully, let's hope. And it is now sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. And so it is really trying maybe to communicate the sense of freedoms that we all deserve. Maybe it is able to speak intensely and very communicatively about the things that we are trying to do. This really has the flavor of freedom and the intensity of trying to go and get it and to like obtain it. in a sort of way. In the evening, 5:38 p.m., moon semi-square sun. This means that like our ego and our emotions are not jiving, unsettled, right? Again, another unsettling aspect. And later in the evening, moon semi-square Mercury, same thing. We're not able to quite communicate the ways that we're feeling. And so maybe the words get a little bit jumbled and a little bit mixed up. 9:44 p.m. I think this is the really cranky aspect of the day. We have the moon in Aquarius, quincunx Mars in Cancer. This is a kind of like emotional breakdown or break, or really feeling angry, anxious, very anxious, maybe anxious about like the ways that we know that we need to go forward in the future. And it does not jive with our sense of security that we are trying to maintain. And there is some sort of break. It's not necessarily great. At 10:43 p.m., we have the moon sextile Chiron in Aries. So this is the last aspect of the day for the moon. And I think that this will kind of speak to a ability from all of the kind of frustrations and the unsettledness that we had and that we're trying to process through the day. We are now able to work through some of our pain and some of our wounds with a new sense of wisdom around how our identity functions and what we need to go forward. So I hope that that gets you through it for Tuesday, March 25th. Take care of yourselves. Hey, thank you for listening to today's Astro Weather with me. I'm Sydney. As a reminder, I'm always open to seeing both new and my beloved returning clients. My website is ddastrology.com. That is D as in dog, astrology.com to check me out, and just click the email buttons in order to schedule with me. If you're into a more conversational feel with your podcast and content, I have a podcast called BS Astrology with my fellow Mercurial Mommy Bender, and we put out episodes every Sunday for the week. Just search BS Astrology on YouTube or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts, including Spotify, Audible, and more. Have a good day.